Om att vi har våra fackförbund som är här, i varje fall några av dem, som stöttar oss när vi behöver. De är här ofta och bidrar ekonomiskt när vi har utgifter i vår aktionsgrupp. Vi har nämligen vi har ingen budget. Men vi har Fackförbundet ST som står där och Akademikerförbundet SSR. En applåd till dem som stöttar oss regelbundet. Och även Kommunal. Jag tror det är säkert några från Kommunal här, men jag ser ingen skylt. Vi har idag en mycket celeber och intressant gäst som vi har kunnat annonsera senaste dagarna. Hon jobbar som ukrainsk journalist och producent vid War Crimes Investigation Unit på tidningen The Kyiv Independent och kommer här och berätta för oss. Welcome Anastasiia Mozghova. Welcome.
Hello everyone. My back is my little prompt for this speech. I want to show it to people. I will explain. Okay, so first of all, hello everyone. My name is Anastasiia. I work for War Crimes Investigations Unit at the Kyiv Independent as an executive producer for the unit. And first of all, I wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to actually speak here and all of your support. I already had an opportunity to speak on Monday's meeting, and it's fascinating how many people are coming every week to support Ukraine and to say things about Ukraine. And I think this is extremely, extremely important. And I just want to encourage you to continue doing it because we really appreciate it. And also, we appreciate General Sweden's support, as like we saw that support last week for having like 16 gripens you may have heard in the news, right? The thing is that unfortunately the war is not over, and I'm someone who is coming from Donetsk region, and it's not over until the point that some time ago, after a brutal, horrible attack on Kyiv, in a couple of days after that, I learned that my apartment where I spent my childhood has burned, like the building where it was located. My town is pretty much destroyed, you know, and one of the reasons why I wanted to show you my bag is that it has the flag of the Donetsk region where I'm from, and I want you to see it and to remember, because there's not much physically left from my region, you know, and all the people that live there, most of them left, including me, you know. Just recently I talked to my friend in Kramatorsk, and, you know, I bought this patch in Kramatorsk a year and a half ago when it was relatively safe to go there, you know, relatively. But now it's very not safe to go there, and this is because Russia is advancing in their ways to continue war, and they're advancing to produce different types of drones, including FPV drones, and this is very important for us to follow that and to kind of be a step ahead of them, you know. And just as I got here, this is something I wanted to share with you. My father's son of my father's school friend unfortunately died, and I'm telling you all of this just to show how close the war is and how real it is to us, you know. So Ukraine continues to fight, and it continues to need the support that you are giving to us, with your attention, with weapons as well, with understanding of the nature of this war. And especially here, like standing here in front of the Russian embassy, this is also something that I want to highlight. You know, Ukraine fight for values and freedom, and not just for territories. And there's so many parts of Ukraine now occupied, and we need to remember that there are people there who are suffering there under Russian occupation, and unfortunately we can't even get enough news. And again, like as a person who works on War Crimes Investigations Unit, can you tell how hard it is to get any reliable news from occupied territories? So when we think about like any agreements and how the war will end, we need to think about those people and their families. And another thing that is very important to remember is to think about people who are still in Russian captivity, both on occupied territories and inside Russia as well. And those are both civilians and POWs. And especially last month we marked the 5th year of POWs who are in Russian captivity for the 5th year. So I also would like to encourage you to learn their names and to continue remembering about them, because they have to go back to their families and, you know, who are waiting for them and continue their life. And also, we often say, like, we say civilian people and POWs, people who fight, right? But we also need to remember that people who fight in Ukraine, they're just like regular people who had to take up their arms and like defend their families and their country. And I think this is very important. So Russia is like commits tortures against civilians and everything, and I think it's important to hold them accountable and talk about it and spread the word about it, because as much as we care, as long it lives in a memory, you know, and it will help us to hopefully stop them from doing what they do. So thank you very much for your attention and for your support. Slava Ukraini!